Virginia nodded. Yes, she thought, you'd try. Was it worth it? It was tempting. Mindy gets to go out. Mindy has to go to school. Why can't I go to school? We've been through that before, Martha. You'll go to school when you're old enough. Go school, echoed a little voice from behind Virginia. 2-year-old Olivia had joined her older sister. Virginia turned to the child. Of the 3 children to whom she had given birth, Olivia was the most like her father. Virginia couldn't help but smile and shake her head at Olivia, who stood with a rag doll dragging from one pudgy hand, a curl of brown hair hanging over one eye, the permanent mischievous grin on her round baby face. She studied her mother with direct, candid eyes, ready to back her big sister Martha in any argument that might get them both out of the house. No, said Virginia, her voice softening as she knelt to hug them both. Neither of you is going off to school. Olivia swung her attention back to Martha. Were they to throw a tantrum, cajole further, or let things pass and go back to playing? But Martha was not ready to give up. I bet Murphy's been lonesome. Murphy is doing just fine. Virginia rose to her feet and tasted the stew for seasoning. It was fine, she decided, as she pushed the pot to the back of the stove. It would be ready for supper when the men came in from a long day of working with the horses. But she had to make the biscuits and the pudding for dessert. The clock on the wall alerted her that the baby would soon be waking from his nap, and Mindy would soon be home from school. Why don't you play with the blocks Papa made you? She encouraged her 2 daughters. We already did, muttered Martha. Then play with the dolly house from Grandpa and Grandma. We did that too. Would you like... I want to go outside. That's what I'd like. Olivia nodded in vigorous agreement. I understand, said Virginia as she moved to get out a bowl and ingredients for making the pudding. But we don't always get what we want. I know that, replied Martha with an impatient swing of her arm. But why can't we get what we want sometimes? You do, sometimes. Why can't we this time? Virginia looked at the clock. It was wrong to give in to Martha's badgering. Yet it was so difficult to be harassed when precious time was slipping away. She had enough on her mind. Supper preparations were pressing on her immediately. She was tired from a long day spent doing family washing, had been up for much of the night with a teething infant, and she sure didn't feel like waging war with a persistent youngster. Yet, if she gave in, Martha would think that she could always have her way. Virginia turned. Listen to me. Carefully, she said firmly. Mama will be as happy as you are when you are able to go out to play again. But it is still too wet and too cold to go out today. Mindy will soon be home from school, and she can read to you. But for now, I want you to find something to do together. And I do not want you to ask about going out again. Do you understand? Virginia's eyes moved from the pouting face of Martha to the younger Olivia, who was looking to her older sibling for signals of how she should respond. Olivia's lip came out as she mimicked the face before her. I want you to be cheerful about it, Virginia added, looking from one small girl to the other. And Martha, I want you to be a good example to Olivia. Martha glanced at her chubby little sister, and her countenance changed. She obviously had lost this round. There was no use wasting further energy and time fussing about it. Can we have a cookie? She said, choosing another approach. You may have your milk and cookies when Mindy gets home. Martha lifted her shoulders and let them fall with an exaggerated shrug. Then what can we do? She asked, her voice and expression plaintive. Virginia mentally scrambled for another suggestion, knowing